Coffee conversation. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome again to our Coffee Conversation Hour. This is our support group, and I am Craig. I am one of your certified peer recovery coaches. And so today, we're not going to hesitate. We're going to get right into the segment. And we're going to bring you an article by archstonerecovery.com. You can go online and retrieve this information. And so let's see. Today's topic is reasons you should be celebrating sobriety milestone. This is our coffee conversation support group. And today's topic is reasons you should be celebrating sobriety milestone. All right. And first thing is, what are sobriety milestones? I'm glad you asked. First things first, what are sobriety milestones? You'll get many different answers to this question, as it tends to depend on what people consider milestone. For some, the day they finish taking alcohol withdrawal medication is a day to remember. All right, and it says the day when they first stood on their feet and overcame withdrawal. That's a milestone for some people. For others, the day they completed their rehabilitation matters more. All right, so there's different milestones that we're going to be talking about, but the importance is don't forget to celebrate them. All right, and it says the day they began their new life. Others will know the day their last drank any alcohol and consider months and years of sobriety as a milestone. You probably heard someone say, I have 2 years in recovery. I have 90 days in recovery, et cetera, 20 years. And so the list goes on and on. And so, but we want to stay focused and remember that there are many milestones that need to be recognized and celebrated, all right? And it says, the truth is every achievement on the road to recovery and abstinence is a sobriety milestone. Consider how wide the term can be. There's different terms. It says, number one, sobriety milestone, the time you remained sober, right? Therapy related milestones, the days when you first achieved your therapies or medication purpose and stood on your own. Then the third one says personal milestones, the days when you first overcame your personal fears and concerns, mended important relationships, and so on. Any and all such milestones matter if they matter to you. That's important. What matters to you, all right? What you define as a milestone worth celebrating is entirely up to what you consider an achievement to be proud of. All right? Here we go. Which milestones are actually important? Let's talk about it. Perhaps you believe you shouldn't be celebrating sobriety milestones of all kinds. You may be thinking you should only celebrate the important ones. The article goes on to say there's a tiny bit of truth to that. Celebrating every little thing may give you a false sense of achievement. For some people, this may indeed be detrimental. So it's logical to be wary. Your therapist and support groups after a heroin detox in a rehabilitation facility may say so too, and help you avoid the uncommon pitfall. However, you can say what's actually important. Frankly, only you can. Remember, only you can. What you take pride in as a personal achievement is an important milestone. What you feel you owe gratitude to yourself for achieving is important. Remember, the focus should always be on the individual. I should always keep the focus on me, what I think is important, what I believe that whatever accomplishment that I have accomplished in my journey to sobriety and recovery. If I say, well, today I didn't pick up a drink or drug, then that's a celebration. You know, one day at a time. You probably heard that term, one day at a time. And so each day is very important from being in abstinence, sobriety, and recovery. It's all depends to the individual. So be grateful for the small things as well. All right. In short, don't fall into the trap of overlooking your own achievements because they might seem small. Let me read that again. It says, in short, don't fall into the trap of overlooking your own achievements because they might seem small. What may be easy for others may have been hard for you for any reason, and that makes it important. All right? Reason you should be celebrating sobriety milestones, right? Reason that you should be celebrating sobriety milestone. Move that out the way again. Why should you celebrate such milestones specifically? There's plenty of scientific literature behind this, as we'll see next. For the moment, let us outline the most important reason you may immediately feel for yourself. Number one, it says it builds up your self-efficacy. All right? Initially, any kind of celebration of your achievements should give you confidence. You'll reach an important milestone after going through alcohol or drug detox. And that's direct proof to yourself that you're making progress through your own strength. This has immense value in that it directly boosts self-efficacy, right? Reminders of small and large achievements should work wonders to your confidence. If you achieve this much, the future can only be bright. If you achieve this much, then you should say to yourself, the future is much brighter. Number two, it says it keeps you productive. We're talking about reasons you should be celebrating sobriety milestone. In the first one we read was it builds up self-efficacy. The second one it talks about, it says it keeps you productive. At the same time, this psychological reminder tends to keep individuals productive. When doubt might slip through, celebrating a milestone often keeps us on the right track to self-growth. Consider the skills and interests you may have cultivated during your recovery. For instance, or the friends you may have made or regained along the way. Your celebration will often involve one or both, and this alone can keep you productive when you feel down. Number three, it helps you share your journey and men's relationship. How everyone celebrates these small moments does different, of course. Some choose to just treat themselves, which also works wonders on one's psychological well-being. If you're celebrating sobriety milestone with others, however, it's an excellent opportunity to socialize and rebuild your circles. When you specifically get together with loved ones over sobriety milestones, your achievements become the central point. These occasions give you an opportunity to share your journey and confirm your resilience to others. All right? Through both, you can begin to mend relationships your struggles may have strained. All right? And so a lot of times we may be celebrating 10 years or 6 months or let's say a week or whatever sobriety that one may be celebrating. And we may look back or reflect on how we got to the point of sobriety, and we may share it in a support group, or we may just be in a AA meeting or NA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, or Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and we might be sharing our story, and just reflecting on what it took to get from point A to point Z. All right. So the next one we want to talk about, it cultivates self-love and instill gratitude. Socialization is only one part of it. However, even if you celebrate these precious moments by yourself, there's still an excellent opportunity for introspection. Remember I told you, reflect on, introspective, look at it through a self-examination, all right? Much like resolutions, they help catalog your journey and make you appreciate your achievements. It's not uncommon for those who have struggled with addiction of any kind to be too hard on themselves. Feelings of guilt are often to blame, and a lack of self-love only follows. In such cases, simply reminding yourself of how far you've come may help you appreciate your own strength and be grateful for your progress. All right. And so a lot of times we look at people often when it says that we are our toughest critic. We look, we don't give ourselves enough credit for the good things or the small things that we achieve. And so therefore we begin to look at our weaknesses as opposed to our strength. I oftentimes make mention to people that, I like to meet them where they are and that they should focus on their strength, and we'll work on the weaknesses later, but let's look at the strength, all the good things that you have done, all the good things you have achieved, and so on and so forth. So that's part of it. Cultivate self-love and instill gratitude. And so the next one, when we're talking about reasons you should be celebrating sobriety milestone, it drives you forward. Finally, recognizing how far you've come may be the slight push forward you need. Psychology explains this as well as we'll see next, but we all appreciate some well-deserved self-congratulations when appropriate, right? It's all right to pat yourself on the back. If nobody won't do it, hey, listen. You have the authority, you have the right to look at all the good things that you have done and try to amend anything that you have did that may have caused some type of hurt or harm with others. But for the meantime, focus on the positive. Indeed, especially if you're struggling to maintain sobriety, looking back can offer some very valuable insight, right? Having milestones to celebrate means you already completed a very difficult journey because you could, and if you come so far, why stop here, right? We're talking about a drive. So the next aspect we want to talk about, and that is, or share, the psychology of celebrating sobriety milestone. This is the psychology of celebrating sobriety milestones. Now, you may be wondering if all these benefits are actually true. The internet is full of people making flimsy claims, including even our peers. Rest assured, this isn't just an article seeking to comfort you. It's not just our personal anecdotal experience that drive it either. Science confirms this practice's psychological benefits, which we may break down into three distinct parts, right? Milestones and resolutions. First, milestones share much of their core with the psychology of New Year's resolutions, all right? Resolutions work because, as Sabrina Ramanoff, a psychologist, someone who has a doctorate degree, explains the New Year's serve as a cyclical, oh Lord, help me with this word, a cyclical marker, a cycle marker of time during which we reevaluate and take inventory of our lives. This punctuation in time, she continues, is what drives resolution. Functionally speaking, that's exactly what milestones achieve as well by giving you a specific time marker. They allow for the same psychological mechanism as resolution to take hold. Milestones mark precious moments in the calendar, giving you the drive to keep moving forward. Just like we set New Year's resolution, as the article make mention, we celebrate. It prepares us to look on accomplishing and achieving something that we set a goal to reach, and goals that we may uh, uh, achieve and which are attainable only if we put the work in. Milestones and recovery capital. Excuse me there. Similarly, recognizing and celebrating milestone works wonders for one's recovery capital. This is what Robert Granfield and William Cloud define as the volume of internal and external assets to initiate and sustain recovery from severe alcohol or other drug problems. Now, let me read that again because that sounds like a mouthful. It said, this is what Robert Granfield and William Cloud define as the volume of internal and external assets to initiate and sustain recovery from severe alcohol or other drug problems. We're talking about milestones and recovery capital. In our case, sustain is the key word. Recovery capital drives self-efficacy and cements recovery outcomes. Your own self-love and gratitude serve as internal assets, while mended social circles serve as external ones. Milestone and self-efficacy. And finally, celebrating sobriety milestones directly enhance self-efficacy. Can't express that word enough. Self-efficacy, all right? Self-worth, self-confidence, all right? Look at yourself as someone who are valued by boosting your confidence and sense of achievement. The American Psychological Association, APA, defines self-efficacy as an individual belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainment. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. That is heavy. And that's from the APA, the American Psychological Association. They says they define self-efficacy as an individual belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments. It says, how would you best describe this, if not as belief in oneself? Self-efficacy is the sum of self-confidence and self-recognition. And sobriety milestones are ideas for boosting both. As such, self-efficacy is also vital toward maintaining abstinence and sobriety. The National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, confirms this in no uncertain terms too, attributing better recovery outcomes to it. They says the self-efficacy that celebrating sobriety milestones can instill in an individual is invaluable. Studies confirm that confidence in your abilities is key to maintaining abstinence. right? Studies confirm that confidence in your abilities, not someone else, in your abilities is key to maintaining abstinence. All right? If you believe it, you can achieve it. All right? So just think positive, just think along the lines of what you can do when you put your mind to it. That's why I look at myself, I challenge myself, and a lot of times I'm not afraid to fail. And so if I fail at something, uh, oftentimes I'm gonna do my best to get better at it and to be the best person that I can be. So I may need a little help along the way. That's all right. We all need help at one point or another. All right. I imagine. Well, let me keep the focus on myself. I know if it wasn't for other people helping me and letting me know and showing me the way that if they can do it, I can do it as well. All right. So let's talk about another aspect of sobriety, and that is celebrating sobriety milestones safely. Now that you know the potential benefits of celebrating all your important victories, another factor bears noting. How should you be celebrating? That is a good question. How should you be celebrating? That is so key. And we're going to find out how we should be celebrating our sobriety. The article says there are many, many ways to do so. Consider such example as treating yourself to something you wouldn't normally get yourself. Satisfying your small everyday desire is perfectly fine and productive. And it's a potent kind of self-incentive. Enjoying a night in town. All right? Buying yourself something that you normally wouldn't buy, enjoying a night in town by yourself or with loved ones, or you may go to the movies, dine somewhere new, enjoy a casual stroll, and more. All such activities can be highly therapeutic given the occasion. Exploring the great outdoors, all right, if you're a nature lover, on your own or with friends and family, you may go hiking, have a picnic, and more. Especially if rehabilitation has given you the drive to exercise, such outings can be very fitting. Fueling your hobbies, all right? If you picked up new hobbies, you may specifically focus on them to celebrate. You may buy yourself some new equipment, join a club, see a match, and more, depending on your newfound hobbies, right? Helping others. That's another way of celebrating sobriety milestones safely. If you join an alumni program, you may even take a moment to guide and motivate others who are now going through the same journey you conquered. For many, this is among the best ways to reaffirm themselves and use their experience after treatment inpatient detox. All right. How exactly you choose to make these moments meaningful is genuinely up to you. Okay. It's up to you. However, no matter what you choose, you should always be celebrating sobriety milestones safely. Whether you still feel unsure about yourself or simply want to feel comfortable, it's wise to take precautions. Okay, and some of the precaution is avoid alcohol. First and foremost, you should strive to stay away from alcohol. If you happen to time your celebration with such family gatherings as Thanksgiving, alcohol may be present, and while a glass or two may be fine for some, it's generally best to avoid temptation, especially if you're still not confident in your ability to maintain sobriety. If you need a way to avoid alcohol without the pressure, you can consider driving. Very few will insist that the driver drinks. Number two, We're talking about celebrating sobriety milestones safely. First one was to avoid alcohol. Second one talks about stay away from stressful situations and triggers. Beyond alcohol specifically, you will also want to avoid generally stressful situations. As we've covered before, stress and relapse are connected. Let me read that again. As we covered before, stress and relapse are connected. So you should always be mindful of possible discomfort. Identify stress triggers and iron out avoidance and management tools with your therapist and put this knowledge in action. And three, maintain the support group around you. Lastly, while it won't always be in your hand, you should try to socialize with support group, especially early on. Friends you may have made in sober living homes are particularly fit for this stage, and so are your loved ones who have participated in family therapy with you. Being around people who can be discreet and mindful and know exactly what you may need and offer a substantial safeguard. All right, and so we're almost done here, but we want to cover these essential coping tools, and they are so important. Approaching day-to-day sobriety to your next milestone. Everyday stress can really take its toll if left unattended. Stress relievers can work wonders toward alleviating long-term discomfort and preventing a potential relapse. Stress relievers. Stress relievers can include pet ownership, meditation, walk in nature, and much more. You should ideally discuss your options with your therapist so you can engage in therapeutic practices throughout the day. Holistic therapies will reveal many possible stress relievers you can consider, and meditation is key among them. Embrace spirituality, so important, so key. A large component of one's recovery capital lies in spirituality. We'll touch on the importance of spirituality and alcohol rehab before, and so have Alcoholics Anonymous over the years. Spirituality is highly personal, of course, and may not overlap with religion. Where you find it and how you embrace it depends entirely on you and your journey. Still, if your journey has led you to introspection and contemplation, spirituality is a tremendous asset towards self growth and self efficacy. And stay active. So key. Don't allow boredom to set in. Alongside, along, alongside the mind and spiritual comes the body. There's an array of benefits in staying active in recovery, including boosting one's confidence and improving mental health. If you can, you should likely strive to maintain an active lifestyle as you celebrate sobriety milestone post rehab. Aside from its inherent benefits to mind and body, it can also present great opportunity for socialization. It can keep you on a path to self improvement, which is exactly what many of us need. All right. And so, admit. All right. Hello there. How are you? Uh, I think you. I think you're muted. You can unmute yourself, Jessica. Right there. Uh huh. Hello. All right then. Well, at least you're here, and so we're almost done, but we will do our best to keep you informed. I'm glad you're here, and we miss you all here at Capital Recovery Center. And so we're talking about today reasons you should be celebrating sobriety milestones. All right. And so there are small milestones, there are big milestones, whatever it is, you should do a self introspective and see which one that you want to celebrate, because you can achieve that which you believe you can do. All right. We on the part of approaching day-to-day sobriety to your next milestone. And so we covered so far. We covered the first one was find stress relievers, embrace spirituality, stay active. And so the fourth one we're talking about is mend your relationships. For that matter, all journeys are best accompanied by supportive friends and loved ones. As you improve and maintain sobriety, rebuilding and repairing your relationship may be the best gift you can give yourself. The benefits of socialization should be self-evident, but there's so much more to this step. Accepting the forgiveness of your loved ones may be all you need to open up to self forgiveness. For instance, having the support of your loved ones back will boost your own recovery capital. Two, as you rebuild bridges, you will also allow your loved ones to meaningfully contribute to your journey. And the next one we're going to talk about, hone your post-addiction life skills. Finally, beyond all else, there's an array of life skills you have learned after recovery. Whatever your circumstances or path in life may be, honing them should help you strive and prevent a relapse. Rehab key lessons include creating healthy habits, sticking to productive routines, managing time and stress, and more. By your journey in, you'll likely have embraced the importance of your own emotions and the value of self care. Putting these skills to practice may be the ultimate gift you deserve to give yourself. Achieving sobriety is a long and challenging journey, so you deserve to reward yourself for making it this far and to strengthen yourself to keep going. And so the last one we want to talk about, and that is celebrating sobriety milestone. Every victory is a step forward. So the article says, maintaining sobriety is no small task. The journey to recovery is not easy either. Studies find that less than 40%, 42% of the individuals who enter treatment for drug and alcohol abuse complete it. Relapse is fairly common, as studies find relapse rates between 40 and 60% across all substances. As such, completing your initial journey and achieving sobriety is an achievement worth celebrating. Let me read that again. As such, completing your initial journey and achieving sobriety is an achievement worth celebrating. All right? You should never underestimate how far you've come. Even if the milestone seems small to others, congratulating yourself is highly important. And it's the kind of self recognition we all need at times to keep moving forward. All right? And so, with that said, we are here to encourage you, Jessica, and whoever may be watching, that no matter what, we should commend ourselves and continue to build on our strength. And don't be hard on ourselves, and to work to every day to do an introspective. That's what the article said. And so that's what we're here to do. And so, how are you?
Okay.
All right, good to see you. Good to see you. You know, we miss you around here. So we was wondering when we get to see you again in in the building. Physically in the building.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna try for Thursday.
You gonna try for Thursday? Great. And this is huh?
I really am going to try for Thursday.
All right, well, put your best foot forward and come check us out. And so this article is brought to that I'm sharing is by ArchStoneRecovery.com. And the title is Reasons You Should Be Celebrating Sobriety Milestones. All right?
Okay.
And just remember, we're all not perfect and we all in this together. And if we was to relapse or whatever, that doesn't mean that we are bad people. It just means that we need to continue to work on what we need to work on. Know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
All right. And so hopefully we'll see you Thursday. We'll be here. And is there anything that you need to ask me or that you want to share? Well, we're still live, so I just advise you, if you do share something, we are live.
Okay. No, I'm fine. I was trying to get on earlier.
Okay.
And I was asleep when you originally called, and I fell back to sleep. And then I jumped up. Oh my goodness! Let me jump on here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's always a pleasure seeing you. And we was talking about your participation. That day you was here, the young lady, she was so excited that you was here as well. I guess that did a great deal for her morale as well. So just know that you can add some importance to not only your life, but also to our lives as well. All right?
But that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also encouraging.
Yeah. And so I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Have a good day.
Okay. You guys as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.